Hey, what's going on? My name is Rosalia, or you can call me Rosebud. Welcome to Psychic Therapy for the Soul. This is going to be a February tarot reading for Sagittarius. Oh yes, free-spirited Sagittarius. And I'm just going to start off first with the theme of the month using the Embodied Witch Tarot Oracle and the Secret Medicine Oracle. And then I'm going to use the Wild Reflection Tarot to read the rest of the month and what's going on for you, Sagittarius. All right, let's get started. All right. Show me what's going on for Sagittarius in February. Show me what's going on with Sagittarius in February. Air. Oh, someone else had this. Can't remember who it was because I did my previous 4 cycle yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. Okay. Hence the new outfit. Show me what's going on with Sagittarius in the month of February. Okay. Nice. Really nice. I haven't seen these 2 cards yet. Okay. So, I feel like you're definitely purifying the air right now. Your focus is to heal your heart space, but also to cleanse any kind of fog or misunderstanding in your heart. This is so that you can have clarity about love, but also about relationships and about what you need in order to go forward. It feels like you're waiting for that fire spark. So you're waiting for that flame to start burning, which is right along your alley there, Sagittarius. You really like to be in a very passionate and active energy at all times. And it feels like you're just ready to really embody this kind of creative, passionate, and willful energy so that you can transform your life. So it feels like you're, staring at a deep flame in the month of February, and you're just kind of allowing your intuition and your third eye to show you exactly what it is that you need and really help heal your soul, which is really what I'm getting here from this energy. This one has a lot of color. I really love how you're connecting to the nighttime, so your feminine, your yin, and your third eye, and really getting this really deep connection to your subconscious, to your soul, and figuring out what it is that you really need to have peace, because your soul has all the answers, but it's also where this kind of deep relaxation happens. So it feels like you're kind of connecting to that deep place while you're staring at your flame, at the fire, and allowing it to give you life. Who talked about this? Oh man, who talked about this? I don't know if it was Carl Jung or Sigmund Freud, but I love both those psychologists, even for their insanity. I think it was Sigmund Freud, but he talked about this kind of deep, dark, intuitive place in which he would enter and there would be no space, okay? Sorry, there'd be lots of space and it would be just empty, like a void. It's a void. But from this void is where your fire would come out, meaning like the light would shine. It's where the most spontaneous and instinctive ideas come from the depths of your unconscious. And it's like, you didn't know it was there, and it comes from the deep ends of your soul. And that's kind of what I'm feeling here. You're allowing yourself to really dive deep into this void in order for this kind of fire to come out. You're also practicing, so while you're connecting to the deep ends of your heart space, you're also connecting to the wisdom of your elders. I feel like this is just being very spiritual right now. Lighting sage, cleansing your space because you're trying to purify the air. And sage actually eliminates 99% of bacteria in the air, which is quite impressive, I find. And so you're using sage or any kind of herbs, and you're just cleansing the air, purifying the air, removing, you know, bacteria, but also cleansing of negative energies, and just really purifying your space and environment as you're trying to sit in this void so that you can be inspired once again. Okay, really nice. And that's this right here that I just read, the wisdom card. All right, so let's go into the monthly tarot. Show me how Sagittarius is entering the month of February. The Page of Cups. Nice. I find this card not difficult, interesting, because it's very similar to the King of Cups in this deck, where you're blowing on the seashell in order to be heard, in order for your people to come, in order to embark on a new emotional experience. The only difference here is that in the King of Cups, the individual is older, he's more mature, he's an older man, while in this deck, he is a student, the Page. So it feels like you understand that it requires some willpower and some courage in order for you to embark on a new emotional experience that is, in a sense, kind of romantic and flirtatious. You're flirting with an idea, you're flirting with a new experience. You could even be allowing yourself to go on a date, or you could be dating yourself, so taking yourself out on dates. This is a very playful energy, so you could just be trying new things that feel very welcoming to your heart, and you're just listening to what's nourishing to you. Page of Cups, that's how you're entering. Really nice. I feel too like if there's any kind of conflict that you might be dealing with, you're using this Page of Cups spirit to dissolve the conflict. So like, for example, let's say Libras do this all the time. Let's say, for example, you're in a conflicting situation, you don't want to cause conflict, you know that it's a situation where both sides might not agree, or it could create kind of like a disagreement in which you don't want to be a part of. You crack a joke or something, or you just kind of say, oh, haha, you know, no big deal, and you're just very playful in the situation in order to just kind of diffuse and make light of it all. Okay. Show me the hopes and desires for the month of February for Sagittarius. Yeah, you could even be waiting for a date, like someone to come to your door. I literally just felt like someone was about to knock on my door. I get these feelings all the time. But in this case, it feels like someone is like about to knock on your door, like you're waiting for someone to knock on your door. Okay, show me hopes and desires for the month of February for Sagittarius. Okay. King of Swords. Someone else had the King of Swords. Oh wow, you have, that's pretty powerful. Okay, just give me a second here. Okay, just the way that they landed too. Okay, there's some kind of foundation, Seven of Pentacles, in which you have reinvested. Okay, it landed here, so it really wanted to come out. in which you have invested your time, energy, and money into. This could be a job, it could be a relationship that was very rooted and grounded and based off of like strong beliefs and traditions, so like a long-term commitment. This could also be like a friendship, it could be a career, it could just be your home as well. You've taken a while to build this crop and you're waiting to see if there is any more worth putting time and energy into. The 7 is usually the pause. It's usually when we reassess what we have built and allowed to grow, and we check and see if results are going to flourish from this investment. So it feels like your hope is to grow this investment, of course, to see if there's results from it, but also to have clarity on it. So the King of Swords goes up in his mountain, and he takes a look at his investment from all angles from above. And he tries to see the truth and observe the truth of the situation so that he has proof. I don't know why I have this Ace of Swords as proof. So that he has proof or a breakthrough and understanding about where it's headed, the Chariot. So that's kind of interesting. So it's like you're hoping to have an aha moment on this foundation in which you have spent time building. You could also be observing another person's foundation, because it's like the King of Swords is seeing everything from up high. So you could be analyzing, watching, observing before coming to a conclusion about a certain foundation, whether it's your foundation that you have built or someone around you. And it's so that you can have proof or understanding or kind of like a breakthrough or an aha moment of whether you should pursue this foundation. Usually it's like, you know, I'm gonna get out of the way and go away from this. But this actually feels like I'm waiting for this aha moment so that I can be all in, which is kind of what I'm getting here with the Chariot. So I can be all into this situation. So I can be very clear and determined about where I'm going, very certain about what I'm trying to accomplish here, and motivated to reach my destination and, you know, get on that horse and sprint, because you can see here how he's getting pulled by 2 horses. We're stepping into the year of the horse in February. So it feels like you're just making sure that all the T's are dotted and crossed and all that stuff. I's are dotted and T's are crossed. So that you know, if you're very clear about this, there's no cracks in the foundation, it's clear, it looks good, and you can pursue this and go after this towards the finish line. So that's your hopes and desires. Yeah. Yeah, you could be observing a lot of things. Are there mistakes here? Are there not mistakes here? What are the obstacles and challenges that need to be overcome? But it feels like you're just waiting to have some kind of clarity and truth about this situation. And it's all about honesty and integrity here. Okay. Obstacles and challenges to reach these hopes and desires for Sagittarius. It landed right on the Ace of Swords, the Sun. Okay, you got the Queen of Pentacles, which is what's helping me see this better. Not only do you need this situation to align with your daily routine, because the Queen of Pentacles is all about having a sufficient daily routine. She wakes up every day, she nurtures what she has, and that allows more abundance to come into her life. It has to be in alignment with the coin in which she is painting on her already home and stability front. And so it's almost like the obstacle is the situation in alignment with my happiness and joy? Because you got the Sun card here. So it's like you have this idea, you're ready to come out of the gates with your horses, you're ready to raise your state of consciousness, you want to include this in your day, you want to include this in your life. The obstacle and challenge is the situation making me happy? Does it bring me joy? Is it in alignment with what I'm building? And making sure that this brings you kind of like an optimistic outcome. So it feels like the obstacle is to, because this is the thought process. So the obstacle is to have a positive perception or idea of this foundation that you have built. So if you're looking at a relationship, or you're looking at someone's business, or you're looking at your own business, or the crop that you have created in this sense, this idea or this truth that you have come up with, being the King of Swords on top of this mountain, is it positive, or am I struggling to see this situation in a positive light? So that's the obstacle and challenge, okay? Does this make me happy to go in this direction? And is it in alignment with my joy and my happiness? What is your secret weapon? The solution and advice to overcome this challenge and obstacle? Okay, wow. Okay, you got the Ace of Wands at the bottom, so that's good. Okay, so follow the spark, right? Because you got the fire spark here as your theme. Does it light me up? Does it spark me up? Is it making me want to go? Is it making things exciting? Is it making things adventurous? Do I feel free? Because Sagittarius needs to feel free. Okay, you can't cage up a Sagittarius. Sagittarius needs to feel free. They need to follow the flame. They need to feel inspired, they need to feel passionate, they need to feel free-spirited, okay? Okay, so to overcome the obstacle and challenge in this situation, to make sure that it brings you happiness and it's in alignment with where you're going and what you're building, is asking yourself, does it bring it? Is it forceful? So, is it forceful? Because there's something here you have to change your perspective on. Queen of Wands. It's like you're being asked to change or put an end to being too forceful with your communication. I had this yesterday in one of the readings, I couldn't remember, but it's like if you want to embody the Queen of Swords, you don't have the Queen of Swords here, you have the Queen of Wands, okay? This is Sagittarius, this is you. Basically, your actions speak for themselves, okay? Your actions speak for themselves. Queen of Wands likes to be in their body, they like to move around, and they don't think twice. They don't have to explain themselves. They don't have to over-explain what they're doing and why they're doing it. They just do because it makes them happy and it brings them joy, and it's passionate and it sparks them, and they're in their body. So it's like you have to put an end to over-explaining who you are. You have to change that kind of personality. You don't have to voice your idea out into the limelight. You don't have to explain yourself. You just have to show up and be the person that you know you are. You don't have to say that you are this person. You just have to show up and be, basically. Show up, be, do. because you got the Hermit here in reverse too, so it's like you've been kind of isolating yourself for a bit, of course. You know what I mean? You've been nurturing the spark here. You've been healing your heart and purifying the air. And you've been really taking some, you've been connecting with your elders and really trying to connect deep into your soul. You could be an old soul connecting to past lives, deep into your soul about what you need and what your wisdom is. Recognizing that you don't need to prove your worth by over-explaining yourself or saying what you're doing and why you're doing it. You just have to show up and do it. So that's kind of like what it feels like. So if it feels natural to you to be in this Queen of Wands energy with this idea that you have, and it brings you happiness, then you don't have to explain yourself. If it brings you happiness and it follows the spark of your soul, then do that. Then do it. If it's your most natural state where you can just kind of be, wake up and do your thing, then it's good for you. So this is how you overcome it. Yeah, you're allowed to be happy. You don't have to have a reason for why you're doing things. I mean, you have a reason inside, but you don't have to explain yourself to others or explain why you're doing what you're doing. Okay. How is Sagittarius finishing the month? How is Sagittarius finishing the month? Ten of Swords. Okay, so you're healing. So you're finishing the month a little bit exhausted. So it does feel like you need to rest. You've been too much in your mind, and I feel like you're learning to be more in your body. So you could be kind of, but you're still standing here strong. So you're wearing a poker face. So you could be finishing the month wearing this poker face, having a lot of overthinking, anxiety, and stress about who you need to be and how you need to show up and why you need to show up that way. And I feel like you're not only standing up for yourself, but you're also ending a big cycle in your thought process, because you've kind of like realized that you don't need to be in your mind and you can now be very clear and show up as you are. So it's like you're kind of ending with this need to just kind of rest and recover and sleep more and just allow things to end from the old cycle. You don't have to overthink it anymore. You don't need to see the truth in it anymore. Okay. Advice from the Self-Care Oracle. Drink tea. You got a bunch of other ones here too. Be alone. Be alone. Take time to be alone. You don't have to rush to be with somebody. Meal plan. So maybe it's time for you to meal prep or like fix your diet or get a meal plan. Maybe hire a nutritionist. Hi, I'm a nutritionist. Hi. Dance. So dance. Queen of Wands loves to dance. They love to be in their body. So when you feel the pull to dance, dance. Laugh. Have a good time. Be happy. You don't have to explain yourself for being happy. Make art. Be creative. So these are all the very fire sign kind of activities. And drink tea when you feel mentally drained or exhausted. All right. That's it, Sagittarius. Thanks.